这个。
Show the dishes and point at the
Sejahtera bersama saya adalah YB Han Wai, YB Yusuhi, YB Ram Kapal dan juga dipanggil OKT, orang yang kena tuduh. Ini berkenaan dengan satu kes, satu allegation bahawa ahli PPS telah serang dan membukul seseorang nama Ong Yun Sun. Laporan polis telah dibuat dan panjangan daripada laporan yang dibuat oleh Ong Yun Sun, pihak polis telah buka satu siasatan 147 of the Penal Code di mana kerusuhan, rioting. Kerana dalam laporan beliau telah mentuduh bahawa 10 orang PPS yang beruniform telah serang pada dia.
First thing is just to clarify, they are not orang dituduh. The matter has not gone to court. At this point of time, at best is statements have been taken from them and investigations are pending. What the point we are trying to impress here is, I think this should not be a trial by media, because there are two sides to the coin. And that is what we are trying to impress here today. They are far from orang kena tuduh. In fact, they have lodged police reports to the effect that they are the victims in this case. Now, that being the case, if that is so, they would be the complainants, not the orang kena tuduh. The matter now has reached the police. 2 police reports have been lodged by Mr. Lee Yu Quen, who is here, and also Mr. Lee Chan Kwong, also here with us today, detailing what actually transpired that day. And it would be wrong for any party to comment and disrupt police investigations. That in itself is an offense. Let me remind these parties and quarters that that in itself is an offense.
Thank you.
Let us not interfere with the investigation process and obstruct the duties of public officers. In this case, the police who are investigating this matter. As YBP has said, indirectly at the Penang state government. Let's not detract from that fact. To warn those who are making allegations that those allegations themselves can have an impact or bearing on the investigation process. Secondly, I think it's also important to state at this juncture that although a report has not been lodged at this time, a report will be lodged today with regard to certain postings in the Facebook which are very serious in nature. Which in themselves amount to possible offences having been committed in the nature of criminal intimidation. These postings will be made available once the report has been lodged, and that will be done today. But those comments, or the comments accompanying the postings, are very serious in that they suggest criminal intimidation, assault, and those are offences which immediately come to mind, amongst obviously other things pending investigations. So the point I wish to make here or stress is that it is not for anyone to come to conclusions at this stage, especially not even knowing that counter reports have been lodged against the person who lodged this report. That certainly is very premature and very irresponsible of anybody. We will be representing the complainants, Mr. Lee Yu Kuen and Mr. Lee Chan Kwong, in this matter, to ensure that the matter reaches the desk of the Attorney General himself after proper investigations have been conducted. Statements have been taken from all parties, including this Ong Yu Soon. So, at this juncture, that would be the position. And I think once the second report has been lodged after this PC, this afternoon, that would be related to this rioting allegation, because they are connected. It would be improper for me to comment on the possibilities of the outcome of those investigations. I think that is for the police to conclude. And I would urge all parties, including the media, to do the same. At this juncture, at least, although the victims are here, and I call them victims, because to my mind they are, in respect of due process of law, I don't think it's proper for them to comment at this stage. In the same way, it was not proper for the other party to have commented. We respect the law. We don't abuse it. So like I said, we will be following up on the matter with the parties concerned, the police, the DPP, and eventually the Attorney General himself, to get to the bottom of the matter. Like YBP has said, they are on police bail at the moment until the 1st of September. Likewise, I would urge the police to take a statement from the other party, if necessary, to release him on police bail as well, pending a decision as to whether or not to charge, and if so, to charge whom. But what has been revealed in those Facebook comments and postings are very serious in nature. In fact, more serious in nature, I think, as they might suggest premeditation on the part of those who made comments to them. Again, it is not for us to conclude anything at this juncture, but it is for the police to investigate, and we leave it to the police. Was lodged by the owner of a gym in the Falim area, which I'm not aware if any outcome has come about it. come from it. But we will urge the police to investigate this report as well, together with the other reports lodged in this case. This report is by the gym owner, I believe. Encik Jafar Shadiq bin Muhammad Sharif. He's here today as well. There are certain insinuations that the parties who lodged reports this morning were behind the incident, or the PPS, which is indirectly linked to the state government. I think that's unfair at this stage. And that is what I mean.
There's nothing wrong with this paper, but then when you say PPS beat people, first it's just passing off that, and the report stating that the PPS, how the PPS, this one, and also there's one newspaper who tie up to the last previous case, saying that last time there are also this kind of cases and all these things. The previous case, which we have already openly admit, he's rented to the police, charged in court, and everything is already there. And we have got nothing to do in this case. They are trying to give an impression that the PPS are all crooks, thugs, and they are also what they call the chief ministers, what they call this, what's the word they use? Which is that I think which the chief minister is not happy with that person, they use the PPS to beg the people.
That's not true. You're saying that's not true?
I think saying it's true.
I need you to say it.
No, I also want you to comment. Of course it's not true.
That means there's no law already.
Of course it's not true.
Today there's another call for BP for the group to be disbanded. Is there a need for it?
What do you think? Do you appreciate that the bank crime rates drops, and also do you appreciate that the so-called, when you talk about disaster, how the people contribute to help? Do you appreciate what they're doing for the society? The call was by Pan Jin-yan. Yep, he called for this one. He talks about SRS. Let us not defer too far. Let us concentrate. There's a police investigation, there's an allegation, and we are telling you that we have already made counter reports. Let the police investigate. Strictly here. And if you think that they should be to be disbanded and all these things, and say that the PPS is going to back up the people, I think I can invite two of the victims to stand up and say, do they look like people like the hired killers? Do they look like hired killers? Do they look like the senior Lee is 66 years old. They are doing voluntary work.
And I must also, I think, point out that he suffered injuries as well to his head, which you can see.
Show the
Show your head. Show your shirt.
If he was the tongue, surely that might not have happened.
This shirt was me from the night from the dinner when I was hit by this guy. The bloodstream all on my cloth. My head was bleeding profusely. No stitches, no original wound. But the wound is quite where the bloodstream are coming.
Yeah,
chứ phải sạch túi ở trong ra.
As for the PBS, I'd like to make clarification. On that night, there's only this Mr. Lee who is wearing a PPS T-shirt, which is as a casual wear. Now these are all my witness, all the witnesses who was at the day of this one because they attended the dinner. None of them wear PPS shirt or any vest. There's one and only person who wear a PPS T-shirt is this Mr. Lee. He went after him. I also want to let you know that that Senior Lee have been assaulted with a weapon. With a weapon. And he can confirm with you who beat him with the weapon.
What? Because I was beaten by Mr. Ong, the crazy guy, who charging at us. So I tried to protect our friendship, very so small. So I tried to protect him. So because I was staying a lower part, I tried to protect. I fall, the guy got beat me on the head 3 times with a button. Very hard, I know. Baton. It's very hard on my head. Then I fall. So somebody just say, that is break.
Where did he get the beating?
He was in his hand.
Say only one wore the vest.
No vest at all.
T-shirt.
Casual wear.
No, single one wore the vest.
Yes, no.
我那天晚上有拍一点照片给我姨呢，我们呢就是我们当事人。
You'll come and have a look. Hotel dinner. They are not on duty. They went to attend a local hotel dinner. And look, we have with us here an ex-headmaster. Is he a tax? Look at their ages. No? These are the photographs where they attended dinner. Which one is the true story? Look at the character involved. I'm not making any insinuation of this one. I offer to you, look at the victims. Mr. Lee, 66 years old. All of them sitting at the same table. How old are you? 64. Our chairman, JKK, 60. Our ex-headmaster,
I'm 74.
74. 64. 59. 60. 50. This is the youngest. Just using common sense. If they are gangsters, so claim or thugs, they will wear uniform and go and wreck you up. Use your logic.
But is there a fracas? Is there a brawl during the incident?
I'm not there. I'm not to comment on this. The police can investigate. There are also some eyewitnesses who are willing to come up. The first batch of witnesses I offer to them, documented, let the police take statement from them of what actually happens. In fact, on that day, out of 10 of them, there are 3 women.
Yeah, 3 women.
3 women. If you're going for a gang fight, do you bring your wife along?
Abhiram, how can 10 against 1 or 1 against 10 be classified as fire team?
Well, I think the
1 against 10 considered as fire team?
at the moment the allegation of rioting is or the investigation papers with regard to rioting have been opened from what I understand based on his report. And he's saying there are 10 people, at least, I think. So therefore, they have classified it as rioting. But in the light of their police reports, you know, these are offences which amount to more than rioting. Assault under section 324 comes to mind because of the injuries suffered by the victim. The whole point that I'm trying to make here is that it is not for us to decide under what sections they come under. That is why we are here in this press conference. It is for the police to investigate the entire circumstances of the case, including the counter reports made, so that they can come up with the proper conclusions. So it's not proper to come up for me to answer your questions at this stage. It wouldn't be. PPS officers at night. You know, we have labelled them as such all this while. They were not there as PPS officers that night in the first place. They were there as ordinary citizens, Bukit Lugo residents, attending a Porto function. So how does the issue of them being PPS officers come into the picture? What does that have to do with anything? Are they to be discriminated because they are merely because they are PPS officers? I think those are matters which go to the crux of this entire issue. Is the attack on the PPS and indirectly on the Penang state government. You see, these are matters which need to be investigated. As far as we are concerned, they were not acting in their capacity as PPS officers that night. They can confirm it today. And nothing to do with being PPS officers.
Maybe they are arrested on the spot when they launch police report.
Sorry?
They are arrested.
Sorry?
They are arrested on the spot when they launch police report.
No, I think you launch the report after your statement.
No,
After lodging the report,
Okay.
they were called to IPD, Tani Road, to record statement.
Okay.
And then when they appeared there, they were detained.
They gave statements, which is the normal course of action after a report is lodged. And after giving those statements, I think they were detained, after which they lodged reports. Grounds. Investigations ought to be taken against those whom they have made reports against.
Did any of them call for statement?
Because it was yesterday, so we are asking all of them to become witness, and we offer all of them to become witness, so the police at any time can be in touch with us, and they can go and give the statement of what they saw yesterday. And one of my statements which I gave to the press, I was not at the scene, I will not comment on it. Whereas you are also talking about people who are not on the scene, they can describe everything about the scene. So was it by design or by incident or premeditated? I'll leave it to them.
Okay, they used to call me Madam Gong. Okay, we operate our gym in Falim Complex is actually less than a year. We are new in that area. Okay, we try to blend around, we try to accommodate them, all the shop owners and all that. Okay, and then this guy, in fact, is since January. He came down, in fact, he threatened us. Okay, in fact, he harassed our staff. You see, he said that our gym is making noise. Our operating hours is from 7 to 11. No, Falim Complex is a commercial area, it's a business center, and our operating hours is from 7 to 11. And how come it says that we are making noise? No? In fact, we try to entertain his complaint. He say that no, the making noise in the sense that you lift up the weight, you drop it down. We try to minimize the sound. We try to minimize the noise. You see, by using those in the garden, the rubber tiles that is about 1.5 inch. We even padded. We even put the 3 plywood. No, try to minimize. And he still insists that we are disturbing him. How can he are using the shop lot as his residence? In fact, it's almost every week. It's almost every week. No, he will come and harass our people. You see, we make police report is only when he use a baton, threatening. So we worry that he might wall up our members or our staff or our manager. That's why we make an official report. Other than that, we are, because we are new in the area, we try to blend around. You see, because we want to get, at least to get along to know all the business, the hawker people there, you see. So he has been like, that's why, I want to speak out, it's basically that it's like he's disturbing, it's almost like every week. You know? It's only when we feel threatened that our staff might be walled up, or like, the members, will be frightened off. Only then we make a police report. In fact, we have now monitoring CC camera. Each time you come down, we keep that record. In fact, he has been doing that for the past until now we have to do something about it. You see? So what has our gym got to do? He said that making noise, he said, you lift up, you must slowly put down, you cannot just swing. What actually is the problem? He pointed at me. You don't get involved or you'll be walled up. Yeah. So that's why one of the staff called the police. You see? And the policeman have to straight talk him to take his, I think I saw it's something like a baton. No? Might be the one that he used, so I don't know. You see? No, he's like, no, every time we have to like, try to sweet talk him, please him, try to prevent him from entering in the gym to disturb the member. So I think it's not right for him. To me, that is a business center. He is using it as a resident. His complaint is that we are making noise. He couldn't sleep.
Salam sejahtera. Bersama saya adalah YB Hanwai, YB Yusuhi, YB Ram Kapal, dan juga pegawai